Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the show. I'm your host, Alan. We're right back at it. Is America on the verge of collapse? Will things get easier for the ordinary citizen out there? Or is it already past the point of no return? Thank you for tuning into the show today. Let's jump right into it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, things are really tough in America right now. I want to have a talk with you today about, will we be able to make it through? You ordinary people out there, will we be able to make it through with things going the way they're going? Let's start with the number one thing, ladies and gentlemen. The price of everything is rising. It's continuing to rise. It's partly and mostly because of the war. Every time you turn around, things are changing. Now gas prices have went up over $1, ladies and gentlemen, in 3 week span. Most people are paying upwards of $4 or $5 a gallon for a gallon of gas. It doesn't make any sense how things have changed so rapidly. Will they get better? Will they get better? We're funding a war that was supposedly going to only go on for a few days. Now it's almost over a month now, and it continues to go on. So I want to talk to you, regular American citizens out there, about what do you do and about your daily life and how things seemingly, and the truth about it, they're not fair to you as an American citizen. As you go to work every single day, you get up, you go. This country was founded on hard work, and you're getting rewarded for your work. The American dream. But ladies and gentlemen, the American dream is turning into a nightmare. You get up, you go to work, and then you get your paycheck, which really isn't that much. And then when you pay your bills, you really don't have that much left. And if you're a regular, ordinary person, that's exactly when you have a flat tire or something like that. Something happens to one of the kids, and then before you know it, you're behind again. In a lot of people cases out there, they're struggling to make it week to week, day to day, not knowing most people don't know where their next meal is coming from. How can this change? Will it change, ladies and gentlemen? I guess is the biggest question. Well, I don't know, because on this current track and trend that we're on, America's on the verge of collapse. And what I call a Ponzi scheme of a economy right now, things don't seem like they're going to turn around. Number one, when you're going to work, you're having to spend most of your paycheck. If you do travel anywhere, you're having to spend a lot of your paycheck just to get the gas to go there. If you have children and you're paying daycare and children and those costs, then you're definitely at a disadvantage right off of the bat. Right off the bat, you're at a disadvantage. Most companies, they will give you what do they call it, a cost of living raise. But then as soon as you get the cost of living raise, the next thing that you know is, yep, ladies and gentlemen, your insurance is going to go up, which I consider to be the biggest ripoff of all, is insurance. Because when you want to file a claim, then they'll drop you in the drop of an eye. So for all of you regular people out there, have you ever noticed that when you go to the hospital or to the doctor's office and you have to use your insurance, first off, you're going to have to pay a copay. You're going to have to pay copay, generally 40 or 50 bucks or something like that. And at a time when you may not have that 40 or 50 bucks. And most of the physicians and the doctor's offices right now, they're not going to see you unless you've got that money. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to have money to even go to the doctor. But you think about that. You can have an emergency situation, because the emergency rooms are overcrowded right now. And if a lot of people go to the emergency room and never pay the bill, that's why they're overcrowded. They're not taking people like they normally would unless it's a dire straight situation. So next, back to what I said, you've got to have money to even be able to go to the doctor, ladies and gentlemen. Then if you do have some type of surgery, then you're going to have to pay out of your rear end to get that surgery done. You're going to pay a hell of a lot of money just to be able to get that surgery done, even with your insurance. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Doesn't make a lot of sense. So for the regular person out there, let's keep it going. So for the regular person out there, car expenses and car insurance, those bills alone, ladies and gentlemen, are enough to take a regular person's salary. Now, let's talk about homeowners and how much money homeowners are spending. The rate, the amount of people who own homes now is going down because people can't afford to get in a home, and the people who selling the homes can't no longer take a chance on someone who down the line they feel like won't be able to get it. So what does that leave you at? If you're a homeowner, if you're fortunate enough to be a homeowner, you've got to stay on top of it. Just your repairs around your home is going to cost you. But can you imagine if you are a renter right now? Can you imagine if you're a renter in a large city right now where you're paying $1,500, $2,000 for a single apartment, for a single bedroom apartment? Things are tough, ladies and gentlemen. Things are tough. We all know. Just to take for instance, if you work for if you're a TSA worker out there, if you are a TSA worker and you're not getting your paycheck, it's tough on you, ladies and gentlemen. And what does that lead to? It leads to collapse, ladies and gentlemen. It leads to collapse. We're collapsing from the inside out. We're collapsing from the inside out, and it doesn't seem like things are going to get better. With the president has already had us in a war, got to have us in a war right now, and then now you're looking up, and now he's talking about blatantly laughing, saying that Cuba's next. He's saying that Cuba's next. So what are we going to be in war with 2 or 3 people? And let's keep in mind, let's just keep in mind, Cuba is what 90, 100 miles from America, from Florida. They may not have a lot of missiles, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure they've got one that can get through. But we're at a point right now, ladies and gentlemen, where nobody likes us. Things are not going, nobody trusts America. Things are not good. We're imploding from the inside, ladies and gentlemen. We're imploding from the inside. And when I ask you if you think that things are going to get better, I want you to take a second and think about your normal life right now, your normal everyday life, and how much of a struggle it is for you to maintain that lifestyle. Take for instance, we've got in a week or so, it's going to be Good Friday, and everybody's going to be headed out and wanting to do traveling. But are they going to be able to travel with the lawmakers who are out? They're out for their 2 week Easter weekend, and yet the TSA workers are not getting paid, and the airlines are backed up up to 6, 7 hours. So how is travel going to be? Or are you just going to hop in your car and you're going to drive that 6, 7, 800 miles? Well, you know how much gas that's going to cost? It's going to the fuel prices just to do that. So that's going to bring on a lot of anger and a lot of resentment, added on to the resentment that the American public already has for the people who are in control of this country. The lawmakers, ladies and gentlemen. The lawmakers. So us regular citizens out there continue to bear the brunt. I told you on one of my shows a couple of days ago how they're changing the age for you to be able to get into the military. They're switching it up. You got troops deployed off. And then now once again we're talking about fighting against Cuba. So regular American citizens out there are going through it. We're catching hell, and there doesn't seem to be any relief in sight. What about the farmers out there who are having to pay extra money for fuel? Are they going to continue to be able to produce? What about the fishermen out there who are paying for extra money for fuel? Are they going to be able to continue to fish and provide for us like they're supposed to? There are things out there that are going on that a regular, ordinary person's never paying attention to. But there are people out there who are putting in the backbone, the hard work, and breaking their backbone to try to keep this country going. Remember, this country is built on hard work. It's built on hard work. And I'm not about I'm not about to say, well, this country is built on black people. We already know that. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, time out for all of that, ladies and gentlemen, because everybody is at a struggle right now. Everybody's in a crunch right now. And if you're out there and you're trying to work and all of this stuff is going on, it makes it really, really hard for you to be able to maintain, really hard for you to maintain your sanity. It's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. It definitely is a lot. My advice to you is to first, of course, you're gonna have to be praying. You're gonna have to put him on your side and make sure that you're continuing to stay faithful and strong, because losing control is just going to add on some more problems. It's going to add on some more problems. So hopefully this thing will get back to normal, ladies and gentlemen, or some semblance of normal. But I'm here to tell you that it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. It does not seem like it's going to happen. We are in a crisis. We're in a crisis, and it doesn't seem like the United States is ever going to get out of it. Just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Stay strong out there. Be careful. Watch what you're doing. And let's all pray. Join together. Instead of pulling away from each other, let's join together and hope that this thing can turn around, ladies and gentlemen. Hope the war comes to an end. Hope that we don't go to war against Cuba. And hope, like hell, that you survive in your regular, ordinary life. This is Alan. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Appreciate it. Continue to stick with us. Continue to hit the like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time. I'm definitely OUT.